So he's kind of trying to I swallowed a bug, flew right down my throat. I hate when that happens. So he's trying to make it look decent. Oh, that doesn't feel good. I think he's still flapping around down there. He ain't coming up. Today on In the Wood Yard, we're going on a road trip. We're going to visit my dad, trim some Christmas trees, and get a load of wood. Here we go. Well, I am here on my dad's property. I just got here a little bit ago and I just talked to my dad. He had to go get lunch and he didn't have time to be filmed, so he said he was hungry. He had to go eat. For those of you that haven't been here before, this is the property I grew up on. My dad owns this. There's like 68 or 9 acres, something like that. And we got Christmas tree farm here, but he's got a lot of other trees too. And he's getting this ready to sell part of it for development. And so what he wants me to do, instead of trimming Christmas trees first, he wants me to trim out a whole bunch of Scotch pine trees that he calls the dirty trees. So there's a bunch of them here. He's got a lot of little white pines growing, but then like right here is the little white pine. He wants this one left. He wants the Scotch pine taken out, and then a lot of the Scotch pines here he wants gone. So there's some white pines he wants left. Scotch pine, all those are Scotch pines. Scotch pine, he wants all these taken out and then leave the white pines like this one here because he wants those. And so I'm going to be cutting a whole bunch of little trees up. You can see all the little ones all through behind here. Those are all Scotch pine over there, so I'm going to take those out. And then he wants a couple big ones cut down. Ones like this right here. And then I'm just going to cut them down, block them up, and then my brother Eric will use them for selling the Scotch pine for campfire wood, which we'll bundle. So the first thing I'm going to do, however, is I have a new chainsaw. Some of you might have seen it a little bit. Here it is. It's a HUSQVARNA 540 XP Mark III. There she is. Now I have used it a couple times already, and Bert has used it. It's a nice little saw, and it's going to be perfect for this job because I just got to walk around and zip off all these little trees here. So right now I've got it mounted in my new Vise, the chainsaw vise, and I've got it mounted on a board. I did add these runners here, so it's much more stable now. And this is the vise that we have now for sale on my channel. So if you're interested, just email me at either Chris in the Woodyard or Mary in the Woodyard. That's my wife's name. It'll go to our email. And we're selling these vices. So if you're interested, just let me know. Bert made these. They're awesome. They work fantastic. So it's got a Healy coil on the inside here. So you just turn this thumb screw out, or thumb bolt, and it's bolted down onto the board here. And it's just a piece of hard maple. So all you do is just drop it in like that, and you clamp it on, and it's clamped and it doesn't move. And that way I can sharpen. Nice solid platform. So whether you hand file with a file, or if you're doing your rakers, it's nice and solid. But I use a Dremel for sharpening. I've got my little EBL battery pack here, so I'm going to sharpen this up because it needs a little touch up. And then I also have a 572 XP back there in the truck, and that needs to be sharpened too. So I brought my kit and my chaps and everything, and then later, probably on tomorrow's video, but later today for me, because I'm going to probably shoot this video and then I'll do another one for tomorrow, I'm going to be using this battery pack with my dad's trimmer. That's what that thing is right there, and you'll be seeing that tomorrow. So I got a whole bunch of Christmas trees I'm going to trim. So I'm spending the whole day here, and this first thing I'm going to do is cut down a bunch of these trees for my dad. So we'll get to sharpening and then we'll get to cutting. So here it is. It is a HUSQVARNA 540 XP Mark III. Nice little light saw, very handy. I can tell you this, for a little saw, it really cuts awesome. Now, it's a 540, and I looked, it's actually a 39cc saw, and it's got the primer, it's got the choke over here. You just flip it up for choking and flip it down when it's running. You push it down to stop, just like all the other HUSQVARNAs. It's got the caps, so they're saying the flip up, and you got to do a couple turns so it actually tightens up, so it's not just a quarter turn like leaky caps like some manufacturers have. And I've got it in a vise here, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my gloves on. I'm going to put on my safety glasses, and I'm going to put in some earplugs, and because this Dremel's a little loud, and I'm going to sharpen the chain up. I'm going to start right here on this marked link, and we're going to get it sharp. It's not terrible right now, but I am going to sharpen it, and I'm going to hit the rakers once because those have not been taken down yet, because I'd prefer it to be just slightly aggressive because I can handle it. It's just a little bitty saw here, but very nice light little saw, low profile. I really like it. So here we go, sharpening time. Okay, I got my gloves on, I got my safety glasses on, I got my earplugs in, time to sharpen. So, all I do is turn it on. We're gonna start right here, and we're gonna sharpen. Very fast, very easy. I don't know if anybody can file this fast. All done. Now, if I was hand filing, I'd be on maybe the second or third tooth. It's all done. Now, the naysayers, which there's a lot of them, guys that are afraid of change, that are hand filers, say, oh, it's not as sharp. No, it's as sharp, if not sharper. Or they say, oh, you're heating up that tooth and you're making it brittle. I've never broke a tooth. I never have a problem. And then there's guys who would say, oh, you're taking down too much tooth at a time compared to filing. No, it's the same amount. I can file. I filed for years, dozens of years. This is faster, easier, works just as good. So if you want to be stuck in your old-fashioned ways, go right ahead. But this works. It works great. The gullet is taken really nice. The top of the plate is great. The tooth is sharp. It's cat claw sharp. Now I'm going to take down the rakers. So I'm just going to do like a stroke or two, and we're going to start kind of in the same spot. I'm going to start on this tooth. Now this is the safety rakers. So I'm just going to go across. I'm going to do them all the same direction because it should work just fine. Now this is a HUSQVARNA flat file in the edge. There's no teeth on it. There's no cut. So if I happen to bump into the tooth, it's not going to take the tooth down. So we're going to start right here. And we're just going to take off 2 strokes. And I'm not going side to side because it's a double safety chain, so this works just fine going all the same direction. Normally I would go opposite side back and forth, but this works on this small chain. And you try to push the same amount, the same distance on every single one. And these have never been taken down before. We've only cut a little bit with it, but I prefer for it to be just a slightly aggressive. Takes about the same amount of time to take the rakers down as it does to sharpen with the Dremel. Now you don't have to use an actual Dremel. Well, that one I didn't get. There we go. You can use any rotary tool will work. The Dremel just happens to work really good, and that's what I've got. So, because you could buy whatever brand of rotary tool you want. They all work. One more. All done. There you go. Now, it's a little loose. We're going to tighten it up just a little bit. So we're going to turn this around. So basically this is a sharpening sled that has a file on it you can use in your tailgate. And It does work great because it gives you a nice solid platform. And then if you want to take your sled or your little vise, however you got it mounted on a board, you can take it into your workshop and you can put it right on your desk. I mean on your work table or your desk if you got a desk, whatever. And get this tight like I like it. Right there, feels pretty good. And I've done this so many times, I just know how tight I want it. I'll check it again. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. There we go. She's tightened up. Loosen up the vise. There we go. She's ready to rock and roll. All I got to do is put some fuel in. Man, this is a nice light little saw. So we're going to put some fuel in, and then we're going to put some bar oil in. Going to get these loosened up. Take off the covers. And I am going to put the bar oil in first because that's a habit I like to have, because I don't mind running out of fuel, but I do not want to run out of bar oil if I forget. So I always try to put the bar oil in first. And to me, it doesn't matter what kind you use, it all works. Bar oil is bar oil. A lot of guys get underwear and not over what brand or what season. I don't know. It works. There's guys I've heard of that are running vegetable oil and they don't have any problems. So I don't know. There you go. Bar oil is in. I'm going to spin this over this way. Back you guys up just a little bit here. And I usually like to put the fuel in kind of off the edge of the truck tailgate, just in case I have spillage, which does happen from time to time. Now I mix on my gas. I use premium, no ethanol, and I do use HUSQVARNA mix oil. And I've been going 50-to-1, but after talking to a few pros, guys that cut a lot, they say a little richer is actually better for the saw and it'll last longer. So they're suggesting 45-to-1 or 40-to-1. Those are guys I've talked to that work in the industry, guys that are professionals and that's all they do. So maybe that's something I'm going to switch to. Generally in my gas can, when I'm using it, I will use it until it's gone. I don't ever have it go where it's just a little bit in there and then I add more oil and then add more gas. I wait till it's all gone, or I'll take a partial can, put it in with another can that's a partial can, so I have an empty jug, and then I do my 2.5 gallon mix, and that's what I do all the time. Or a 2.5 gallon mix, and that's what this is. So there you go. Time to do some cutting. Okay, so I got my safety gear on. I wear chaps, steel toe boots. I got earplugs, earmuffs, the helmet, safety glasses because I don't have a shield. It's cool enough. I think I can cut without with the glasses on. Should work. I got a brand new pair of HUSQVARNA Master Grip gloves. Never tried these before. I got these at a show. They gave them to me to try out, so we're going to give them a try. Now, these probably aren't the best gloves to wear if you're handling a lot of wood. I don't know, but I know for cutting, these are going to be nice because they got really good grip, so we're going to give them a try here today. I've never used these before. Brand new pair. They feel nice. So, they're very sticky, so they should be good for grabbing stuff. So, we'll give these a try. So, we will start the saw here. We'll flip up the choke. Give it a few primages. Ooh, first ball. Got to warm up. That was easy. Last time I started it, it took 3 or 4 pulls. That was 2 days ago I started it, and I cut a branch just to see how it works. I haven't cut much with it. Bert used it a little bit, but I haven't. But there she is. It's a nice, light little saw. This thing can't weigh, I don't know, 8 pounds maybe? I don't know. I'll look it up. I don't know. So I'll look it up and I'll find out and I'll put it on the screen for you. Let me get warmed up just a little bit. We'll do some cutting. All right, so that took, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. This is a nice little saw. Cuts really good. We're gonna cut a bigger tree down. There's one over here we're gonna do next. All those little ones, this is a perfect kind of saw for this kind of a job. Now, recently when I was at the Paul Bunyan show and I asked everybody a question. I said, hey, if you had to pick one saw and one saw only, what would you pick? Rest of your life. You only get one, you gotta use it the rest of your life. And a lot of guys said, oh, 500i, 592. A lot of the younger guys picked the big saws. But some of the older guys were picking like a 555 or a 562 or a 261 steel. You know, they tend to go with the smaller saws because remember, only one saw, you gotta do all the limbing with it too. And someday you're gonna be old and not be able to lift a saw. So I'm kind of thinking like a 60cc saw might be about the right size for almost everybody for the rest of their life. If you go much bigger, it's gonna be heavier. You go much lighter, it's not enough saw. So somewhere between a 50 and a 70cc saw is probably the sweet spot. All right, let's go do some more cutting. By the way, the gloves are awesome. All right, got a few more here to trim. Starts real easy. This one right here is a white pine. Scotch, and there's two white pines here. I'm gonna take a little white pine out and leave this bigger one. Some more scotch over here. A bunch of them over here we're gonna go get. Leave one of them, let the other one's gone. Scotch. Got a dead top on it, but it's a decent sized tree, so what I'm going to do is trim it. That out. I'm going to trim off all the All right, so I came over here to where this bigger Scotch pine is. There's one right here, one there, and then this bigger one. There's a whole cluster of them here. So I'm gonna cut all the small ones down around the outside, and then we're gonna cut this bigger one down. It's probably, I don't know, 30 footer. Looks like it's about a 12-inch base, something like that. But yeah, we're gonna get all these cut up because my dad's got a brush pile right here that he's throwing stuff into to burn. And so that'll work out good to be close by. But this one here I'll block up so that my brother can have it for bundle wood for his firewood stand for campfire wood, because there's, I don't know, there's a bunch of wood there. So, and it burns because it's wood. It's time to get cutting again. so I cut down all these smaller ones in here, and I'm going to cut this one next. The wind is blowing that way. It's a little heavy that way, so I'm going to drop it, and if it lands on the machinery, it's no big deal. That's been here since I was a kid. That's the old cultivator we used to use. And this oak tree here, what I did, because the oak tree we want to leave, I took off all the branches, and then it had a split right here. And so I took that off, and once this tree is gone, this tree will do really good. So I just basically cleaned it up. So it's, I don't know, about 8 feet up. There's no branches, so it's not so bushy. And I'll probably do that for some of these other oaks in here. Like this one I'll probably take out, but this one I'll probably leave, and I'll trim this one up. And then there's some other Scotch pines in there. So basically we're gonna leave the oaks, but just trim them up a little bit so that they can grow and look nice, and keep the growth going up instead of out. So we're gonna take this bad boy down next, and I think it's gonna go this direction. So I'm gonna go grab a wedge just to make sure it does, but trimmed all the crap off of it first. So, and then this one here I'm gonna block up too. I blocked up a whole bunch of these little ones, you know, because this kind of stuff right here, my brother can either burn it as a wood boiler, or you can split them in half and sell them for campfire wood. So there's some wood here that's useful. And I know some guys would cut it right down to, you know, thumb size, but get it down to 3 inches is small enough. Anything below that, maybe 2 inches, even that's kind of pushing it. Okay, we're gonna cut this one down next. I gotta tell you, so far, the 540, it is nice. It's so light. It's like you're not even lifting anything compared to a 572 or 592 like I'm used to. So it is a sweet little saw, I tell you. It's working really good. I am enjoying the lightness. Okay, let's cut it down. All right, I got a wedge in my pocket. We're gonna make it go that way. I'm gonna try to miss that, the rake over there. I'm gonna try to make it go straight that direction, and I think it's going to. It's got a little lean that way, and the wind's going that way, so I'm gonna notch it on the far side and then wedge it over on this side. So that's what's gonna happen right now. Okay, before I do any more, I gotta go sharpen. It's pretty dull. I was looking at the teeth. I can see a couple of them are rounded on the tip. So, yep, I hit the ground when I was trimming stuff over there. I knew I did, but didn't really worry about it. So, okay, gotta go sharpen her up. So I just checked the fuel, and it was right down there, so I filled it up with fuel. I'm gonna go put it back in the vise here. Again, this is the reason why I wanted this vise, is to be able to come to my truck and sharpen easily. So here we go. I'll turn the power pack on. It says it's on. Let's just see. Turn the AC on. There we go. All right, let's find there's the brass tooth. So oh yeah, that was pretty dull. Here we go, all done. Now, the one thing I have noticed is the chain loosens up. That's actually pretty good. Let's just check out, let's get it out of the vise here. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. But what I don't, it's the only thing I don't like so far, it's got one nut for tightening. I wish there was two, so you could get one a little snug, tighten it up with the scrunch, and then tighten your nuts down. I wish it had two nuts. That's, I guess, one thing that I would say is maybe a little flaw, but it seems to work. It's so little that it's good. Okay, let's go cut the tree down. Happen to have a hammer here. all the way. Here we go. Here we go. Now she's sharp. There she is. The gloves are awesome, nice and sticky, great for cutting. I tell you, when you're hanging onto your saw, those are nice. But because it's a softer rubber, I think if you're handling a lot of wood and pulling brush, they might not be so good. But when you're cutting, they're awesome. This little 540 XP, I gotta tell you, she's a little ripper. It almost seems like it's almost as loud as my 572s and my 592. It's a loud little saw. I wear earplugs and muffs. But man, I gotta tell you, it cuts really good. Of course, I was cutting pine, which doesn't take much of a saw to cut pine. All of the guys on the West Coast talk about their big, huge saws, but they're cutting pine, spruce, whatever it is, Doug fir. That stuff cuts so easy. It's like cutting butter compared to oak or hickory or hard maple. So what I did then is I went and I trimmed up these little oak trees. You can see I kind of trimmed all the lower branches so that they grow straighter. I gotta take the top, I've got a double one there. I gotta take that off. So I'm trying to get it to where it's just one shoot. And I got this all limbed up. So there's some wood in here that my brother will be able to use in his boiler or for whatever. And I just looked now that I got this opened up, there's a whole bunch more Scots pine, little ones over here. I'm gonna go through there and I'm gonna take down a whole bunch of those little ones in there too. Kind of open this up. My dad's basically trying to get this so that it looks nice. So if people, they're planning on putting a road right in through here. It's kind of on the edge of his property, so you could have houses on either side, and it goes back to his lake back there, and his ponds, and then the river is up front here. So he's kind of trying to. I swallowed a bug. Oh, flew right down my throat. I hate when that happens. So he's trying to make it look decent. Oh, that doesn't feel good. I think he's still flapping around down there. He ain't coming up. Okay, so basically he's trying to make it look nice so that this winter he'll probably burn all these brush piles. When they bring the road in or whatever, that it's kind of opened up already so that it looks nice for lots. So that's the plan. So, okay, we're gonna go over there and do some more cutting. So I was just cutting right over there, I don't know, 50 yards away. There's hundreds of Scotch pine through here and a bunch of white pine. I'm gonna cut the Scotch pine. I got about a half a tank of gas, so I'm gonna run until I'm out of gas, and I'll have run 2 tanks through this little bugger. So more cutting's happening right now. So there we go. I just ran out of gas, brought it over. I'm going to touch it up so the next time I cut, it's ready to go. It's not bad, but I like to have a sharp saw when I'm done. So the next time I go to cut, I don't have to sharpen, I can just go. But it cut really good. Oh, look at it here. My little brother is here. Here he is. Here's my youngest spoiled brother. And my dad is here. So the cutting for today is done, folks. Tomorrow I will do some trimming of trees. I'm gonna go do it right now, but you're gonna see it tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Come on back then. Right now, go watch one of the 1,200 videos on my channel, or watch them all. Good night, Irene.